completion of the square. Again, we're going to use the same question that we asked the exam question that we have had, which is x squared minus 4x minus 12 equals 0. Okay. Now, completion of a square, as I said, gives you a lot of headache to some students, but it's very, very easy as long as you understand what you're doing. So what we need to do, we are going to look at coefficient of x. So this is the number. Okay. So again, I know that is x here. Yeah, it's going to be x times x. So I can put a square here. So it's going to be x squared. It's going to give me x squared. But I need to take a half of the coefficient of x. So half of minus 4 is going to give me minus 2. Okay. So therefore, in this end here is going to be x minus 2 squared, in brackets squared. And then I am going to take away this number here, which is minus 2 and squared, and then take away 12, which I already have there, equals 0. Okay. So then I am going to have x minus 2 squared, then minus this squared is going to give me plus 4, and plus 4 minus plus 4 is going to give me minus 4, and then minus 12 equals 0. I'm going to add this because it's minus 4 minus 4, and they are both constant. So I'm going to have x minus 2 squared minus 4 minus 12 is going to give me minus 16, which equals 0. Then I need to add the 16 to both sides. So x minus 2 squared minus 16 plus 16 equals 0 plus 16. And this cancels, so I have x minus 2 squared equals 16. Okay. The next thing what I need to do, you can see that if I continue there, the video will not be shown. So I'll go up. Okay, so what I have there is x minus 2 squared equals 16. So that's where we are. So what I need to do, I need to take a square root of this side. So x minus 2 squared equals square root of 16. Now this square root of 16 is going to be plus minus. Okay, because minus a certain number times a minus is going to give me plus. So plus times a plus, so the number is going to give me a plus. Now the square root of this squared is going to give me x minus 2. There's no need to put a bracket again, but it's going to give me my x minus 2 equals plus minus square root of 16 is 4. So the first answer is going to give me, so I'm going to add 2 to both sides. So x minus 2 plus 2 is going to give me plus minus 4 plus 2. Okay, so this cancels. I have x equals, the first one is going to be 4, which is this top positive 4 there, plus 4 plus 2, which gives me 6. And the next one is going to be minus, which is the bottom one, minus 4 plus 2, which is going to give me minus 2. And you're going to see from the answers we already have before, the answer is actually the same. So this is how we solve quadratic equation using completion of a square. Make sure you find the half of the coefficient of x, and then you take away from x squared. So your x is going to be x in bracket squared, and take away what actually you added. This will depend on the sign. If this was positive, it's going to be plus. So it's going to be plus 2 brackets squared. but because it was negative there, that's why this negative is there. So what you need to mind is this sign here. Okay, if this was a plus, this would have been a plus. Okay, but subtracting the square, the half of that coefficient of x that you had, still you need to subtract to the rest. Okay, probably we need to do a question where the sign is not negative. Let me see if I can find one of them here on these past paper questions. I've got one, so let's try to do that one to make sure we are happy how to look at these signs, because these are signs which always give a problem. Okay, so we have x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals 0. So want to solve that by completion of the square. Okay, so we're going to have x, and we need the half of 3. So half of 3 is 3 over 2, and it's positive, so it's going to be plus 3 over 2, the whole of this squared, and then you subtract this what already there, which is 10, and I need to take away this squared, which I added because it was not there before. So I'm going to take away 3 over 2 brackets squared equals 0. Okay, so this I maintain. It's better to keep it 3 over 2 rather than putting it 1.5, unless it's a calculator paper. Okay, if it's a calculator paper, you don't have to worry. Okay, but on the calculators, it's better to leave things in this form. So then I have x plus 3 over 2 squared minus 10 minus 9 over 2. This is squared, sorry, over 4. This squared is 3 times 3 divided over 2 times 2. So that will give me 9 over 4, which equals equals 0. Okay, so I need to add these, okay, because you have seen minus here. So I'm going to have x plus 3 over 2 squared. Now 10 is going to be what? I can take, this is over 1, common denominator is 40 if I want to do a long addition. So 1 into 4 is 4, or 4 times 10 is going to be 40. 4 into 10 is 1 times 9 is actually 9, so it's minus 9. So we have minus 40 minus 9, which will give us minus 49 over 40. Okay. Yeah, the other way is multiply that side by 4 and bottom by 4. So I have minus 49 over 4 equals 0. And then I need to add these fractions to both sides. So I have x plus 3 over 2 squared minus 49 over 4 plus 49 over 4 equals 0 plus 49 over 4. Okay, so these cancels, yeah, and then I have only x plus 3 over 2 squared equals 49 over 4. Then I take a square root of this side, so square root of x plus 3 over 2 squared equals square root of 49 over 4. This is a plus minus. Okay, right, I'll go up again. So let me go up again. So I have x plus 3 over 2 squared equals so I've taken square root of there, equals plus minus square root of 49 over 4. That's what we have. Okay, so the square root of this is going to be x plus 3 over 2. The square root of the top number, square root of 49, is going to be 7. and the square root of the bottom, which is square root of 4, is going to be 2. So this is going to give me 7 over 2 plus minus. Okay? And then the first answer is going to be x plus 3 over 2 equals 7 over 2. That's this positive. Or x plus 3 over 2 equals minus 7 over 2. So let's work out each one of those. Okay, to find the value of x. So I take the first one, this one here. Okay, so x plus 3 over 2 equals 7 over 2. I need to subtract 3 over 2 here. So x plus 3 over 2 minus 3 over 2 equals 7 over 2 minus 3 over 2. Okay, so these cancels. So I've got x equals again, the denominator are the same, so you just need to subtract the numerators. So 7 take away 3 is going to be 4 over 2. So therefore, x equals 2. Okay, so that's the first one there. Then let's take the second one, which is a minus. We can go from here. Okay. Right. So what do we have? We have x plus 3 over 2 equals minus 7 over 2. And we're going to subtract 3 over 2. So x plus 3 over 2 minus 3 over 2 equals minus 7 over 2 minus 3 over 2. Okay. This one cancels. So we're going to have x this end, and then there you're going to see the common denominator is the same, so just need to add those, which is going to give us a minus 7 plus 3 is 10 over 2, which means x equals minus 5. Okay, so these are the answers. So x equals 2 and x equals minus 5. Okay, right, okay. Right, can we check? Yes, we can check. So that's no problem at all. You need to substitute this each one in term, and then you should be able to get 0. Okay, so that is how to solve quadratic equation using completion of the square. Okay, hope that's a good revision. Thanks. Bye.